Yo, so I saw a thing recently. It was like this dude, and he's just rambling about, or not really rambling, but talking about a potato for as long as he could. And since I'm currently waiting for my friends to come in front of this restaurant, I figured what I would do is try and talk about plants for as long as possible until they show up. And my phone's currently on 18%, so we're gonna see how far this lasts. Because I also want to record some whenever they're here, like little snippets. Anyhow, about plants. Now, I'm not really a big plant guy. I don't know too much about plants. But what I do know is like palm trees and bonsai trees. Like bonsai trees are so cool, dude. Like granted they're the like I guess stereotypical Japanese tree, but they're the stereotypical Japanese tree for a reason. Like you don't see bonsai trees everywhere you look for a reason, because they're so cool. Like imagine that, right? You get to look at a tree that just kind of like twists and turns, but it still has like a cool shape, and you can put those things in pots. Like I really don't get that. And then, like whenever I look at a pineapple too, I would like to say that that's kind of like a tree, to be honest, because like you can plant those in the ground, right? And I mean they kind of like if you exclude the yellow pots, right? It kind of looks like a tree, like a little bush, right? I think I think it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to consider a pineapple as a bush, right? If you just remove the pineapple part, just remove the yellow part of it, that's practically a bush at that point. I think a pineapple is called, I'm trying to remember, I think it's called like aggregate. Whenever you're looking at the plant in biology at least, I think it's called a aggregate fruit. And I remember that because whenever I was in high school, I was in a biology class, and in this biology class, there was a ton of material that you had to study. Like you had to learn all these different fruits, all these different like mini items and all that. And I think it was a strawberry and a pineapple that's aggregate, something like that. I don't really know about that one though. That's a little bit like outside of my repertoire. Honestly, I feel like broccoli should also be considered like a plant. Well, it is a plant, but like I think we should be considered a tree, because those things are basically like little mini green trees. I wonder how those things like evolutionarily became a thing, because you have the like little broccoli, right? You have the little broccoli sprout. I'm sure that there's like some way to plant broccoli too. Now I haven't searched into broccoli. Oh, let me get that for you. I got this. Of course. No problem. Now, like, I haven't looked into how to make a broccoli, right? It's not been something on my agenda. It hasn't been like my first priority. I haven't like sat there and been like, yo, I need to plant a broccoli. Like that's just not happened. But I imagine like somewhere in the world, probably like Czechoslovakia or something, they seem like a place that would have some wild stuff. You could probably plant a broccoli tree over there, I'm sure. What plant would a broccoli come from? Because surely that's not coming from a bush. There's no way a broccoli is coming from a bush. And like there's no way it's like hanging off of trees. There's no way you could convince me that broccoli is hanging on vines like grapes. There's no way. Like I don't see that as a thing. There's just no way. There has to be somewhere in the world where you just have like I don't really know what tree that's called, but it's like a little, like this, right? This is, hopefully no license plates are showing. But that tree right, that's basically the equivalent of a broccoli. It's just like actually tree-like, but like, there's gotta be somewhere in the world that just big broccolis like that are growing. Cause there's no way, like I've already said it, but seriously, there's no way that broccoli is just growing out of the ground like a carrot. No way. Or that broccoli's hanging off of a tree like an apple, or growing on a vine like a grape, being in a bush like a raspberry. There's no way. I don't believe that. I don't know, man. Like vegetables like that are just kind of weird. I know that I think a tomato is considered as a fruit, but there's also some other ones that are kind of iffy. Like whenever I look at a zucchini, right? Look at a zucchini, look at a cucumber, maybe even a squash. Like, I would think that those are vegetables, but at the same time, Like pickles, I'm pretty sure pickles have seeds in them. So if seeds inside of it is the only like necessary action for it to be a fruit, then are pickles fruits? I don't know. Are cucumbers fruits? I don't know. Like, I really don't know much about fruits, and I feel like I should. Like, when I was a kid, me and my dad used to play this game where we would just, like, go out and describe a fruit, right? Just describe a fruit. So let's say you and me we're playing this game, right? Like, all right, I'm thinking of... And you gotta give, like, some hints, right? You gotta give some hints. So, I'm thinking of something that's small, it's round, it's kind of got, like, a pointy shape to it, and it's red. Well, then I'll be on the other side as a little kid. I'm like, okay, is it a... All right, let's see. Is it, okay, I kind of squash myself here because there's not a lot of options. So let's do something different, right? All right, I'm thinking of something that's long, it's green, and it's kind of like an oval in shape, right? So then I'd be sitting there like, okay, is it a vegetable? Is it a fruit? And then my dad, he'd reply with whatever it is. So like, let's say it's, in this case, I'm gonna say it's a fruit, right? Or a vegetable. I'm gonna say it's a vegetable, right? It's a vegetable. Okay, it's a vegetable. All right. Is it let's say, is it a pumpkin? Then my dad would be like, no, okay. No, not quite. It's kind of long. It's got like it doesn't really have a flavor. It's just kind of bland, but you know what it is when you have it. I don't know how to describe it. But then I'll be like, okay. Is it a lychee? He'll be like, no, it's kind of, well, honestly, I wasn't this far. I'd probably be like, all right, does it have seeds in it? Yes. Okay. Is it a watermelon? No, the seeds are small. It's smaller. Think smaller. Then I'll be like, okay, is it like a green pumpkin? No, not quite. Think a little bit more elongated. Then I'll be like, okay, are we talking about like a melon of some sort? No. See, okay, this is gonna be something that has like it's small and it's skinny, and then we'll kind of go back and forth like this, right? And so eventually I'll get closer, and then we'll get to whatever it was. And bro, that's such a fun game. Like, you have I Spy and everything. And that's cool. But whenever me and my dad were going on trips from this one place, it's like a 4-hour trip we had to go each weekend. For my mom to drop me off to him, then him go over and bring me to this house and everything. Because he lived in San Antonio at the time. So it's like a 4-hour journey, right? And whenever you're sitting down in the car 4 hours, you don't really listen to music much, right? Like, you'll occasionally put on like David Bowie or something. But most of the time we're just driving. Well, he's driving. I'm like 6 at the time. But, I'm sitting there in the back seat, we're talking and all that. And, we start playing this game. And bro, that's such a fun game. I feel like in recent times, because there's not really anybody I could go up to. How's it going? Not really anyone I could go up to and be like, all right, you know your fruits? All right, let's go. Because even I don't know my fruits anymore, bro. I lost my memory. I need to freshen up. Anyhow, on the topic of the trees, right? Topic of the plants and the trees. Alright, something suspicious with the carrots, bro. Something suspicious with the carrots. Because I get it, right? They're kind of grown and all that, but they have hair. They have the little green sprout. Like, we gotta consider that as a bush of some sort. Surely, that's a bush. Surely. Okay. If we were to make a new category, right? Like, I think a carrot's a vegetable. Well, now hold on, wait a minute. Because to grow a carrot, you have to use seeds, right? You have to use seeds. So is that a fruit then? Well, no. Because I'm pretty sure carrots are vegetables. Like, I'm 90% sure a carrot is a vegetable. There's no way that thing is a fruit. But you have to use seeds to grow the carrots. Well, how else, like, how are you getting, how do carrots reproduce? Wait, no, because you do use a seed, right? You do use a seed. How are they getting this, like, where's the carrot seed at? Because, oh, hey, they're here now.